Good morning.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Kim Spillers.
And I'm Frank Spillers, and this is Rural Community Solutions TV live stream. At Rural Community Solutions, we help communities and places build family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people.
Today's show is more somber. All of our shows with you, all of our time together is heartfelt. But today's show, we feel that we need to give our comments and our thoughts on Wednesday's attack on our nation's capital. We have a call to action for people to be better than this. What happened on Wednesday is not the behavior that we promote with Rural Community Solutions. It's not who we are as a people. And so today we want to share our thoughts, share our hearts with you in some words and some actions that we feel would be beneficial.
And this all starts on a local level. It's not a upper leadership problem. This falls upon you and your actions. As we have always said, you have the ability to respond in any way. And our ability to respond to this action really falls upon our local leadership and our local citizenry.
So today, we'd like to dedicate this show and these comments to the 5 people and their families and their friends who died Wednesday, whose lives were cut short because of these actions. It is unconscionable and horrific that these people lost their lives. And so we dedicate this show to their memories.
We are heartsick, appalled, and disgusted at the attack on democracy that's taking place around this country. The president's actions and words at his DC rally Wednesday incited a mob action that is not reflective of our country. Many small businesses in rural America are hurting due to the lack of leadership during this COVID crisis that directs efforts, focus, and resources away from small business and community economic recovery. As a business whose mission it is to build civility, we demand that all our elected leaders provide the environment and take actions for a peaceful transition of power that is the cornerstone of our system of democracy. So many of our political leaders are not listening to our citizens. They talk at them, simply pushing their own agenda. But inserting deliberative dialogue into the realm of power politics will improve community challenges faced by American democracy today. Our leaders need the collective insight and the community voice to make hard choices to get their work done. So violence is never a good thing, and screaming and yelling is never a good thing. It's because we react to the screaming and yelling. So when you have a fight with someone, the minute you swear or insult them, you've lost the argument, even if you were right, because the minute that you swear or insult them, you have made it personal, and they react to the fact that you are disrespectful or the fact that you're just unhinged. Rational and peaceful is always better. We can't all agree upon the right course of action, but we can all agree upon one thing. And that is the status quo that we're being offered is insufficient. So let's start where we can find common ground. There is a better way if we enter into community engagement and work together to figure out the best course of action for that common cause. Nelson Mandela was asked once, years ago, by a reporter, how did you become a great leader? He was the son of a tribal chief, and he said to the journalist, I remember two things. I remember going to tribal meetings with my father, and I remember these two things, that we always sat in a circle, and my father was always the last to speak. So we're always telling people you have to be a better listener, but we are social animals. We communicate, and communication is listening and talking. The practice of being the last to speak is one of the greatest leadership traits that you can have. Very often, the leader of an organization will walk in and say, here's the problem. Here's what I think we should do. But I'm also interested in what you all think. At that point, it's too late because people either change their opinions based on what the authority, what the leader has said, or they start agreeing with each other, or they just don't give you their candid answer and they no longer feel heard because the leader has always weighed in, but also has given the impression the decision has already been made. Leaders need to say this: the challenge we face, and I want to know what you think. Here's the challenge. I want to know what you think. Giving no hints of agreement or disagreement, only to try to understand the reason why somebody has that opinion, and then stating it back in their terms, simply just to be clear that there is some common understanding. Only when everyone feels heard and everyone feels like they contributed will the leader benefit of more perspective. Even if the leader renders a decision that is different from what someone else in the room believes, or everyone feels like they contributed, as fact as they did contribute, and they feel like they contributed, and they feel like they've been heard. That's true leadership. People do not feel heard. People do not feel understood. They feel that their voice does not matter. When you have citizens that are not engaged in decisions, they do not feel like they have a choice. Disruptive issues continue to grow. The more disruptive an issue is, the higher the cost it is to resolve. So the saying goes that all politics is normal. All politics is local. Then this needs to start at the local level. We need to design a local system that builds relationships, because when relationships are built, when true relationships are built, and you have engagement, when you have places where people can have their voices heard, you build trust. If people do not trust the public, when leaders don't trust the public voice, trust is not built. When you don't trust people, people don't trust you. We need to build back trust into our community. Leaders need to build back trust into our environment. Relationships with engagement build trust. Engagement with collaboration builds great policy. Relationship with collaboration builds great unity. When you have relationship, you have collaboration, you mix that in with creativity of entrepreneurship, you build community wealth. This doesn't start in the top. It starts at the local level, and we start to build generations of true leadership. We start to build generations of people that have the habit of deliberative dialogue. So build deliberative dialogue into your community decision-making and have people in circles that build engagement. Together we can do this. Together, we can rebuild democracy. Together, we can rebuild trust. Together, we can rebuild our citizenry. I'm Frank Spillers.
And I'm Kim Spillers.
This is Rural Community Solutions TV live stream. Follow us on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or our blog at anchor.fm/Frank Spillers. Think like an entrepreneur, become a spark plug. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.